the government under President William Ruto has done and is doing that some people actually peripherally don't want to appreciate. President William Ruto is not just a symbol of national unity, he's a symbol of inclusion. A number of things that he has done is to ensure, for instance, that when it comes to spending power of the people who are the lower band get to have theirs adjusted such that they don't have to pay the payee. And he has pronounced himself, and that's why those that earning 30,000 and below are not going to pay the payee. Secondly, when you look at the extent of inclusion of even people in the Juakali sector, etc., and whatnot, when you talk about the issue of SHA, I will tell you this. Many people, and I have seen it when some relatives have had to be sick, I've had to go, and when you find out people who are complaining or who initially were complaining that SHA is not working, they were not even initially registered. People who've registered, some of them even friends that I've gone to school with, they come now to appreciate that SHA gets to offset considerable amount of their bills. Now, there was a bit of hiccup during the transition of this new health framework. And this hiccup is slowly being polished.
What was the hiccup?
No, when you see, for instance, when we moved from the NHIF to the Social Health Insurance Fund, that transition, in fact, even the example that Honorable Ngogoy has given about transitioning teachers from Minet to SHA, the hiccup was on that transition. But now it is working. In fact, even His Excellency the President has spoken ex cathedra on this, that teachers now, what initially was feared, that they would not access healthcare in health facilities, whether you're in the rural or urban areas. Today, teachers are finding it easier than when the transition from Minet initially to SHA was first started.
Why did teachers want to go on strike then?
Now, you see, first of all, change at times is always misunderstood.
Okay.
And because for a long time, teachers have been covered by Minet under the TSC, they did not know, they were anxious about what is it and how is it going to be as we transition from
Javas,
Minet
they knew
to SHA.
because they gave examples. I'm sorry, but one thing that we must do is that they were not unsure or they were not just anxious, that they gave examples of when teachers would actually present themselves to hospital. And two of the things that they raised were pertinent issues for them, that the places where they could go and access medical care were far from, that previously on the other cover, that they could go anywhere. Kind of like what Ngogoy has said, they could go anywhere and access the health care that they needed. But when they moved, right, that they had to go further away. And this meant that they had to take time off work, which in cases they couldn't get. Do you see? That they couldn't go where they were used to going before. So it's not about change or feeling anxious. The truth of the matter is that they couldn't access it in certain medical institutions. Yeah.
Because in the initial weeks and months of that transition, a number of other health...
It was in May. It was the beginning of... It was April 28th to 29th.
Yeah,
it was the beginning
various health providers now have been onboarded to provide health services to teachers and to Kenyans across the country. Now, you see, this is the onboarding of... Even under NHIF, not all health facilities had been onboarded. But now, as we move forward under the UHC, we are going to have various health facilities onboarded as long as they are able to provide services, first. Secondly, the issue of authentication and verification to ensure that fraudulent claims are not made. Remember that even the issue of, about 11 billion shillings fraudulent claim, it is the health CS Honorable Aden Duale who spoke out about it. He blew the whistle that there had been a scheme of some various health facilities making fraudulent claims. So let us appreciate the proper work of government is to offer services. Nothing else. Government doesn't do business.
Can I ask something?
No.
Jaffas, is it a whistle blowing when you say that there are companies that are being paid that are associated to your relative?
You see, Honorable Duale said this, that there are some companies, some hospitals, for instance, where some even health practitioners, some doctors, were making claims for payment when they had not even physically been at various facilities. And he blew up this. So the most important thing, remember that accountability, transparency is one critical thing in framework of government. When a government official says that and calls out various facilities for fraudulent claims, we must appreciate that they are keen on transparency and accountability.
No, they're doing their job. This is the thing,
Exactly.
that we shouldn't be clapping